Are you ready to talk about rent in today's economy? Because I'm not. I'm going to get really pissed off. We're going to start off with this first video, and let's see what she says.
What does the American government think is going to happen if rent prices continue to increase and our salaries are not increasing with it? Genuinely, what do they think is going to happen? I truly don't understand not doing rent caps. I know that's a thing in New York, but I'm from the South. I've never heard of such a thing down here. I only hear about it in New York. That needs to be instituted nationwide, and it needs to be by state, by square footage of the apartment, how many bedrooms, has it been updated, things like that. Because the thing that doesn't make sense to me is I'm in the same apartment for years. You're not changing my carpet, you're not painting any walls in here, you're not giving me new appliances, and you're increasing the price of staying here every year, but nothing is changing. Like, I would totally respect it if you renovated my place and made it luxury and then increased the price. I would get that. I would respect it, but nothing has changed and you're increasing the price on me. I don't understand, because eventually now I'm lucky that I have been in a place that has been increasing for the past 5 years that I've been here, but it has not increased outrageously. And I believe that is because of when I started living here and the fact that I stayed with them. They're choosing not to raise it outrageously.
This is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy because the most loyal tenants who stay there and are paying their bills, they're paying rent every month, they're never late. It used to remind me of my family. They actually still live in an apartment. Um, and every couple of months they get their rent increased. It's really insane.
What happens when, if I continue to stay here 10 years from now, is this same apartment going to be $5,000 a month, even though nothing in here has changed? Like, what do people expect to happen? Like, of course people are going to go out and search for a cheaper place, and they're going to move out of your place, and eventually if you skyrocket your prices enough, no one is going to live there at all. No one is going to live there because it's not going to be affordable. So what do people think is going to happen when you continue to increase the prices of these things and no one's salary or nothing about the place is changing? Like, it sounds like a rhetorical question, but is there actually a business person, someone out there who knows the logic behind this and knows, like, this is the end goal? What the heck is going on?
Exactly. They are not thinking, they're just greedy, I feel like, and they're just taking advantage of what they can. It's very sad because you see so many people becoming homeless, so many people are, facing this housing crisis, even with roommates and stuff. Like, for 3, 4 roommates, you're still paying a pretty large amount. Like, you're paying $1,000, around $500 to $1,000 to be a roommate. It's insane. It's wild. So we'll watch this next
Explain
video.
to me how these apartment complexes expect anyone to be able to pay rent. I'm moving in June because I'm going to grad school and I can't afford to live like where I actually need to live. So I was looking at like the next town over basically. And I was like, okay, I feel like $1,400 to $1,500 is an appropriate amount for rent in the area that I'm looking at. So I'll look in that range, right? There is nothing. There is nothing. Unless I want to live right next to like Cracktown, there's literally nothing.
Exactly. The average person just wants to live a normal life. Like, we don't want to be living in the ghetto, in the hood, where there's crackheads everywhere walking around and banging at people's doors. Like, we just want to be a regular family or a regular person. And especially to the people who have kids, like, they don't want to be living in some crazy neighborhood just so that they can afford rent. They want to be living good. They want to be comfortable in the area that they're living at. But it's very hard to look for that nowadays. And most of the time, they brand it as luxury. Oh, you're in this luxury apartment, so then we can boost up the prices, we can make the rent extremely high. Oh, this is a luxury new build, new home, new neighborhood. And even if it's not new, they just rebrand it as luxury, quote unquote. And it's really not. It's just the bare minimum. That it's like the most basic stuff. Like even the things that they claim are amenities that are luxurious, they're just basically requirements. Like they're the bare minimum.
So I was like, okay, let me take the rent up to like max 1,600. Yeah, no. Still no. Even when the rent gets to 1,600, there's like $200 of fees every month. So your total cost of living there is like super high, and they don't tell you unless you call or unless you already applied. And then they're like, "Yeah, well, we know that the rent says 1,400, but it's actually going to cost you almost 17." Oh, sorry. I'm like, "What?"
Exactly. Like they'll say a certain price, a sticker price, but then you add deposit, you add pet fee if they have any, you add like all the utilities, everything plus the other bills that you're paying on top of that, like your car for her, it's her tuition because she's in grad school. It's crazy. Like who is expecting to be living in this type of economy? And it's very sad because you see so many people are struggling financially, and some people say that this is the silent depression because so many people are struggling, but it's kind of like happening in the background. Let's watch
Can
this.
somebody please explain to me how the fuck making 3 times the rent became the normal standard? So if the rent is $2,000 a month, I gotta make 6 bands a month to live there? You mean to tell me if I make $4,500 a month, y'all ain't gonna let me live there? How does that make sense? Bitch, if I was making 6 bands a month, what the fuck would I be shopping for an apartment for? You don't think I'm like 3 times? I'll give y'all 2 times. I'll give y'all double. Y'all want to make sure you get your money. I understand. I'll give y'all double, but triple don't make no fucking sense. Y'all gonna have 40% occupancy. Who the fuck made that normal? While we're on the topic, did the fucking employees that work there make 3 times the rent? Do y'all pay y'all fucking employees 3 times the rent? No. Y'all sure don't. So you don't pay people 3 times the rent, but you want your tenants to make 3 times the rent. Don't make no fucking sense to me. Don't make
Exactly. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't know how they expect us to live. They're just being greedy. They don't want to calculate everything. And I don't know because they still somehow get people living there. And it's a whole mess. I don't understand either. Yeah, so what do you guys think about this? This is a pretty big crisis here in the US that is happening all over the states, not just in any single state like New York or California. This is everywhere. Yeah, I feel like personally it has some influence from the presidency, possibly. And hopefully by the time next year comes, this starts to adjust and that things start to get better for us, because if not, then we're kind of screwed. So yeah, just let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.